I'm Catherine Gladwyn. I'm a virtual assistant, a VA mentor, and also the author of the #1 bestseller, How to Be a Virtual Assistant. In this video, I'm going to share with you the services that virtual assistants are most frequently asked to undertake. Quick caveat before I reel off all these services that are most in demand. Once I get to the end of the list and you think, I can't do any of them, don't worry, it doesn't mean you can't be a virtual assistant, I absolutely promise. Find the link, bio.link/virtual assistant is somewhere, I don't know where they put it on YouTube, maybe it's in the corner somewhere, but click on that and join my VA community. It's free and I'll send you a list of over 80 services that virtual assistants can offer, and that list is not exhaustive. And I'm going to bet you a Cadbury's cream egg that you can do at least 2 or 3 services on that list of over 80. And 2 or 3 is more than enough to offer your clients. So get that Cadbury's cream egg in the post. Okay, so by far the most popular thing that I'm ever asked to do is diary and email management. Now, if your background is secretarial, remember secretaries, admin, PA or EA, then you more than likely you've done diary and email management for your managers or directors, the board or anything like that. And it's exactly as it says. So diary management is helping your clients to book meetings, maybe making sure they've got enough of a break in between meetings. You may be booking their travel as well because they got to go different places. Or maybe you're making sure they have a lunch break every day, that nobody can book any times. You might be in charge of their Zoom connections as well. So it's taking over control of their diary so that they've got enough time to get to meetings, do the work that's required. They've got reflection time after the meetings. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I ever have back-to-back meetings, I'm done for. I need to have at least half an hour's break, if not for just a wee in between and a fresh cup of tea. So diary management is exactly as it says. And email management is a little bit different to when you were an employee, if you've done it as an employee, but you're helping the client manage their inbox. So things that you might do is unsubscribe them from those newsletters. I bought something the other day from a t-shirt company. So it's this logoed t-shirt. I got a thank you for your order straight away. Have you seen these other t-shirts? Next day is £10 off in case you want another t-shirt. Next day, have you seen these t-shirts? Don't want another t-shirt. I've bought the one t-shirt. If I wanted another one at the time, I'd have bought it. So it's unsubscribing them from these goddamn newsletters that just keep coming, because I know it sounds an easy thing to do, but so many of my clients that I've done email management for in the past, they got all these newsletters coming in and all they're doing is just deleting them. But it's still taking up their time thinking, who's that from? Oh no, delete. It's so much better to just unsubscribe. So it's helping them manage it like that. And other things I've done with email management is create folders for my clients' emails. So one of my clients, long-term clients I used to do email management for, his name's Rich. He's got loads and loads of clients. So what we used to do is we'd have all the folders with all his client names, and then we could file the emails in there so that we've always got a way to go back to them if there's any confusion or we ever needed to re-access something. So folders with their names. It's keeping their email signatures up to date and maybe an out of office as well. And also in time, what you do is you would reply to the client's clients, because you'd get to know their business. You'd get to know the sort of replies. So I'll refer to my client Rich again that I used to do email management for. So sometimes somebody would come through and say, don't seem to have an invoice for the latest payment we gave you. So I could go and check his accounting system, pull the invoice off and send it to the client. That is saving Rich so much time, because he doesn't have to stop what he's doing, which is where he's bringing most of the money in, go to his accounting system, pull off the invoice, get back to them, and no doubt have a conversation because he's got that different relationship with them. Whereas me, as his assistant, I can just pull it off, say, apologies, this wasn't sent, here you go. I've not got that personal relationship, I can just get it sent, saves Rich so much time, so much money. I could sit here all day and list the things that you can do for email management, but just know that it is a massive, massive thing for clients to be able to outsource their email management. I don't outsource mine because I'm too much of a bloody control freak, but sometimes I wish I could, because I get a lot of emails from people saying, I've not received this. And all I've got to do is reply and go, have you checked your junk folder? And then they come back and they're like, yeah, I found it now. Okay, so another thing I'm asked to do a lot is social media support. And a lot of you know it as social media management, but I just want to make sure that I don't encourage you to do something that you may not be very good at, because if you followed me for a little while or you've seen any of my other videos or my TikToks, you'll know that I always say only offer services that you're confident and competent in. So a lot of new VAs think that they've got to offer social media management, and what they think that they need to offer there is writing people's social media posts, and that's a whole new world. So unless you've got a background in really building somebody's audience on social media, and I'm talking thousands, and you've got some sort of copywriting background, or you're just really good at writing and communicating with people, then you're probably not going to want to offer social media management, as in writing the content, because it's so important that it has to be right. I write all of my own newsletters, I write all of my own content because it's my tone of voice. There will be somebody out there that could mimic my tone of voice, no doubt about it, but I wouldn't pick somebody who had just been managing their own personal Instagram account and has 73 followers or something like that. It would have to be somebody that's got a real track record in making things change. So don't think that you've got to be offering that. A lot of VAs think they do, and they don't. They really don't. But there are things you can do with social media support that you may not have thought about. So what you could do is you could help somebody that's got like a big following. You could help them with their social media inbox. So I get messages on LinkedIn and Instagram when I've activated my account on Instagram, because I'm deactivating it most of the time because I get fed up with it. But I get messages on there from people, and a lot of them are really generic messages that anybody could answer. So you could help somebody with their inbox and their direct messages on their social media channels. You could help them manage responses. So if they get a lot of comments on their posts, so perhaps they're putting posts on LinkedIn, they're getting lots of comments, you could help reply to them. You could help delete malicious and nasty comments, because everybody gets them. Not everybody, but those with lots of a following. So don't worry, you're not going to get trolled straight away. You will eventually, but not straight away. So I've had somebody rude on TikTok today. It's not affected me. In fact, I've replied to them just to wind them up. But sometimes I get some nasty ones, and it can affect you for a few hours. So if I didn't have to see those, it wouldn't wind me up. So you can offer to do that. You can check people's comments and things like that. If somebody's got an inquiry that they sometimes put on a comment, you could reply and deal with that. It takes so much away from the person. So I'm thinking of a few people on LinkedIn whose posts within minutes go almost viral every time. How these people keep up with the comments, I don't know. So you can look for people on LinkedIn and think, do you know what? You posted that 35 minutes ago and you've already got 1,000 comments. I think that I could help you with that. You could get in touch with them and say, you got it. Could offer your help. So another thing I'm often asked to do, and it's because I offer it as a service. So people, obviously, but it's bookkeeping. And I thoroughly enjoy bookkeeping. And there are so many business owners that don't. So it's a great service to offer. But if you're in the UK, do go on to the gov.uk website and search for anti-money laundering registration, because a lot of people that offer bookkeeping need to be registered for that. And that's a few £100 for your first year, and then a recurring payment, I think, of a couple of £100 every year thereafter. There's a little bit down the bottom of the page where it says about registering, about the requirements if you're a virtual assistant, whether you need to register or not. There's a few caveats that I won't say now because they could change at any time. I might be slightly wrong. But look at that list, because you may not need to register. But if you do, then you must do it. If you offer bookkeeping, do ask to see, whether you need to register for anti-money laundering or not, do ask to see the client's passport or a photo ID of some description, so you can just verify who they are. That just covers you in case you do see any money laundering going on. That'd be well exciting if you did. With bookkeeping, I often get asked, do you need to be a qualified bookkeeper? No, you don't. But what I do say, and I'll do the caveat again, is you must be confident, you must be competent, because if you're playing with somebody's bookkeeping, if you make a massive mistake or any mistake, you could mess about with their tax return. I took a client on once for bookkeeping, and she had, within her bookkeeping software, she had 2 accounts running next to each other, 2 bank accounts. And what she didn't realise is they were both mirroring the same transactions a lot of the time. So when it came to tax time, she'd have been paying double if I hadn't have noticed this duplication. So you've really got to know what you're doing, but you don't need to be qualified as a bookkeeper. But it is something that a lot of clients are like, oh my God, yeah, just do it, because they can't stand it. And once you don't need to submit their tax return, I don't do that because I don't want to be responsible for that. But you're saving the money because everything will be in order by the time they need to send it to their accountant at year end. So it's less for the accountant to do. So if you enjoy bookkeeping like I do, it could be something that you look into. Have you seen the software called Canva? Canva. If not, go and have a look when you've got 7 hours free, because it is so addictive. It's brilliant. And a lot of clients ask for Canva graphics or social media graphics they'll ask for to be created to accompany their social media posts. Or they may even want presentations. I never use PowerPoint anymore. I only ever use Canva if I'm doing presentations for myself or for a client. It is, oh God, it's absolutely brilliant. All of my Instagram posts are created on Canva. The thumbnail for YouTube, I've created that on Canva, and I am not a graphic designer. You're probably sat there thinking, yeah, we thought that actually, Catherine, because the thumbnail, yeah, really rubbish. But yeah, it is, oh, it's fantastic. So go and have a look at Canva, have a mess about with that, and in no time, you'll probably be like, do you know what? Yeah, I love it. I am going to offer clients help with their social media graphics. Yeah, it's fantastic. And the software's free. You don't need the premium unless you're doing a lot of work. And then, of course, because you're bringing in the money, the premium's not, the price is negligent. But another tip as well is what I did for, I think it was for about 3 years I did this. I shared the price of the Canva software with another VA, so it was half price. Don't tell Canva. Now, you've probably got Microsoft Word skills. So a lot of clients really do ask for document creation. So it could be Microsoft Word, it could be Microsoft Excel, it could be presentations, like I just said, with Canva. A lot of clients either haven't got the technical skills or they haven't got the time, and they want you to create a document for them, or perhaps manage their files and folders. They might be using Google Drive for it. They might be using OneDrive. I hate OneDrive. But yeah, you know what it's like if you've worked in any organisation, any company, you go into their files and you're like, how is anybody finding anything? Because it's just all been vomited into a mass, you know? And clients are like that too. They're so busy creating all perhaps these documents. Maybe they've got client contracts, they've got onboarding documents, they've got all sorts of things. And you can go in and you can tidy it all up for them so that if they're ever audited or they ever take on employees, or just so that they can find things, it's all in one place. I have helped so many clients over the years do that. I've even had clients, it seems, you know, if you've got good organisational skills, which I'm sure you have, it seems impossible that people will have lots of spreadsheets with lots of different information in that you could just perhaps put in one spreadsheet. I've had a client like that. He had lots of properties and he had one spreadsheet for each property, like when the gas safety check was last done, when the EPC was last done, when an actual inspection of the property was done, buildings insurance, everything like that, for each property. And I thought, why don't we just put it into one spreadsheet? And we did, and it made it so much easier because we could just update everything at the same time, because most of the properties had their gas safeties done at the same time, etc. So you'll look at things sometimes and you'll think, well, I could do that for you. And I can't believe you've not done it. So all of your skills that you've built up, this is just to show you that everything that you've built up over the years, clients want. There's a lot out there. That's why you must download that 80 plus services that I mentioned at the beginning, because you will be so surprised at all the services that you can offer. One of my very most favourite things that I often get asked to do is research. So little things that not little, they've been big. But I worked with a company that, I'm trying to be careful so that you can't identify them, but I worked with a company that sold lots of franchises of their business around the country. And I had to phone these franchises every so often to pretend I was a customer, to see how they dealt with the inquiry. And I'd also have to pretend I was a different customer via email. So I had to have a fake email address, otherwise they'd know who I was. And I had to do these inquiries and log how quickly they came back to me, what sort of responses they gave me. And I'd have set questions to ask just to if you like, test the franchisees. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Felt like I was a detective. Obviously wasn't, but really enjoyed that. So that's like mystery shopping. Different things of research that I've done. A woman made babies' clothes and she wanted me to get in touch with loads of children's boutiques in London and find out who the buyers were. So brilliant, it's fun, it's easy, and it's filling in a spreadsheet, and it's, so offering research so it can be competitor research as well. So if I wanted to find out about, I don't know, somebody else that's making VA YouTubes or something like that, and I want to sign up to their newsletter, I couldn't do it in my own name because they might see my name on there and think, well, she's obviously trying to get ideas. So I could get somebody else to do it for me if I wanted to do that. So competitor research is another big one, because you can't sign up to your competitors' newsletters or something like that because they'll probably see your name. So yeah, research is lots of fun, and anybody can do that. Anybody. Another thing that clients appreciate help with is client onboarding support. So I'm going to give you an example. I used to work with a lady that was a divorce consultant. And the process that her clients would go through would be they would get in touch. She had somebody that did her call handling. So they would get in touch usually via the telephone or email sometimes, and they would be directed to a Google form to complete. And once that Google form was completed, their details were sent to the divorce consultant and also transferred onto a spreadsheet. The divorce consultant would contact them, arrange a first meeting. An invoice would be sent to them prior to the first meeting. They'd have to pay it in advance. And then subsequent follow-up meetings would be booked. And also folders would be created within OneDrive to keep everything together under the client's name, blah, blah, blah. That was the whole client onboarding process. There was a little bit more to it than that. I'm just trying to reel it off quickly. But that was the client onboarding process. And that's just an example. A lot of small business owners have a long process to onboard a client. I used to work for a web designer as well. And if he had a new client, there would be an onboarding process there too. And it's something that you can do as the VA. So what the client does is they do all the schmoozing, they get the client on board, then they pass it to you, the assistant, and you do all the nitty gritty stuff while the client goes off and schmoozes the next client and brings the money in. So that's lots of fun. I used to really enjoy that. So that's something else that you can add to your skills. Something else that I get asked a lot, but it's because I'm a MailChimp partner, so I'm on the MailChimp website. I also use something called MailerLite, and that's email marketing. So the things that I've done with email marketing is maintenance of people's email marketing accounts, so whether it be MailChimp or MailerLite. But what I also get asked to do is to write people's email newsletters. It's not something that everybody can do, because you've got to have the confidence to adapt to people's tone of voice and to speak to different audiences. So I've worked with will writers, I've worked with solicitors, I've worked with large events companies, I've worked with a multitude of different genres, if you like. So it's not something that everybody can do, but if it's something that you look at in the future, it is a very, very good service to offer and very popular. But please don't invest any money in any training at the moment. Just start with things that you're already confident and competent in, and maybe look at email marketing in the future, because it is a nice service to offer if you enjoy it, that can bring in the money for you. MailChimp is you can get a free account, and also with MailerLite you can get a free account. So it could be something that you look at in your spare time. But like I said, don't waste any time on it just now. Just focus on getting those clients initially and bringing the money in, and it's something that you could do later on. But it is a nice niche to have. Like I said at the beginning, if you can't do any of those, it doesn't mean your VA journey is over. Far from it, I promise you. There are so many services that you can offer. So I'd like to invite you again to download my 80+ services that virtual assistants can offer. If you go to the link, it's bio.link/virtual assistant, and join my free VA community, and I instantly send you a list of over 80 services. If you say you haven't got it, check your junk and your spam, because they all get sent. So it's not me, it's you. Thanks for watching.